Hey guys, welcome back to Paul's Little Forge. We got a fun one this week. We are going to be doing a low-level nickel Damascus, just 17 layers of Damascus. We're going to have 1095, 15N20, and nickel in this baby. So we're going to have fun. Let's get started. This is my steel for the Damascus knife. This is 1095 here, 15N20, nickel, and more nickel, but just a little thinner. So we're going to take a center core of 1095, put 15N20 on both sides. We're going to then take nickel on the outside of the 15N20. Then we're going to take more 1095 here, nickel, nickel, 15N20, nickel, nickel, and then we're going to have an outside layer of 1095. So we're going to clamp this together, weld it up, and then we'll put it in the forge. You guys can see I got this welded up now. I'm going to clean it up a little bit, knock some of the slag off of it there. If you're wondering why I didn't video me welding this, well, it's because I suck. So we're going to get the forge going and get it in and put it into press. All right, I took this down to about a ½ an inch thick, and what I'm going to do is grind some lines in this, flip it over, grind more lines in it, and then I'm going to go back to the forge and press, elongate it a little bit, and then bring it down to about a ¼ an inch thick, and that'll be kind of our finished billet until I do all the shaping enhancements. Cut the handle off that was used when I was forging. That's the rest of the billet right there. I have glued this little template on, and from this point on I'm going to do stock removal by cutting out that knife. I like to do stock removal after forge welding because when you hammer it into shape, you could delaminate it and distort your pattern a little bit. Not saying you shouldn't do it, that's just not what I do. Hey guys, I forgot to film the grinding out to the exact shape. You saw me using the hand grinder to cut it close. Sorry about that. So just try to imagine me grinding and you'll be okay. Here we are back. We got the shape cut out, and then we have the bevel put in it. Don't know if you can see the lines there in that. So we're about to heat treat it. This is going to be my handle material. It's a piece of ash that's been pressure dyed, some burl. It's going to look really cool, I think. These are what we're going to use to bolt it on with here in these two holes. These holes here are just kind of for reducing some weight and giving the epoxy a place to go. So next, we're going to heat treat it. Hey everybody, hand sanding is the #1 way to get a really good finish on your knife. You can try all kinds of other methods, but hand sanding is proven to be the best way to make it look good. .400 grit. Now we're going to hit it with some 600 grit. .800 grit. And now we're going to go to 1,000. All right, now I got this sanded up to 1,000 grit. And if you look, guys, you can see some of the Damascus pattern just from that sanding. Now, it's barely showing in there. And after we etch it, it's going to show up pretty good. I did want to mention this. I am using this handle now. It's a piece of tamarind that's been pressure dyed. When I cut the original one on the bandsaw, my bandsaw guide came loose and I destroyed the block. I've had it with that bandsaw. It's a Rikon. And it is a genuine hunk of junk. Guys, don't ever buy anything from Rikon. Guys, when I drill these holes in the handle, a couple of things I like to do, because we're drilling into wood, so I like to put tape over the back. That helps keep it from splintering, because if you splinter the back side of that, when you do your epoxy and you put your pins in, you're going to be able to see the epoxy around the pin because the wood's splintered on you. So we're trying to prevent that. I also like to use a piece of hardwood as a backer. This is just some leftover hardwood, and I don't remember what type it is, but not real pleased with it anyway. So I'm going to use this as a backer as well to put against that wood so that we help prevent the splintering. And again, these 3 holes here are just for weight reduction. I'm only using these 2 for holding the handles on. So after we drill the holes, I put a second pin in here, as you can see. I removed the tape between the knife and this. I'm going to put that knife on top of those pins. Now I'm going to kind of figure out where I want my handle to end up here. You don't want to go too far, that'll look funky. You don't want to be too far back, that's going to look funky. So I like to use this circle template. And I like, wherever my ricasso is, I like to be a good 3/16 to 1/4 inch away from that. So I'm going to do this, kind of eyeballing it, but it looks pretty close to me. So when I grind wood, I have some what I call my retired metal belts for working on the knives. When they start getting dull, I'll start using them for wood and just recycle them until they're just flat wore out. So we're going to round this over on the router. I just use a router to do it. If you don't round it over now, it's very difficult to do that when it's on the knife. You'll usually end up scratching the knife and damaging it, so it's best to get this good and round and finish before it gets on the knife. All right, so now I'm going to put these scales on the knife and then grind it right down to the shape. And in order to do that, I'm going to use these Gulso bolts here, and so I have to countersink these, and I have a special tool for doing that.
I like to go a little bit deep because I'm going to be sanding on this, so you don't want any of that sticking up. Looks pretty good.
So I put some bolts in through the back side, and put this over the top. Put this one down like this.
Now we can go finish this thing.
So when we grind this down now, I don't want to hold it in this position anymore because it's going to leave grind marks across the spine of the blade. We don't want that. So we're going to actually hold it this way, and then we're going to go over to the other grinder to do the rounded parts. Now I'm going to go back to the router one more time, now that we got all this smooth, and I'm going to round those edges off. So I'm going to do a little hand sanding before we etch it. That way I don't scratch the Damascus. All right, I'm gonna go to 600 grit here. This is what I have in my hand. I didn't film all the sanding, guys. It's boring. But we'll take it to 600, and then we're gonna put a little super glue on it. And that super glue is gonna protect that wood handle for many, many years to come.
You can see a little bit of a difference there. Do the same thing on the other side. This is kind of one of those things that once you get it on rag, you better hurry up and get it on there. I use a medium viscosity glue. Thin glue just doesn't work. It dries way too fast.
I like to lightly sand with 1000 grit in between layers of super glue. I never put less than 3 layers, sometimes many more. If the wood's really porous, the more layers you got to put on, because when you go to polish it later, those porous parts of the wood are going to collect the polished material, and you'll see little white or black spots in it. So you want to get a really good smooth finish on the super glue before you polish.
Put a little bit on right there. You don't want to get it in the screw holes, guys, because then when you go take the handle off to etch this, you got a problem. So try not to put too much on at one time.
All right, this is the 4th coat of glue I'm going to put on.
Right now, I'm not too worried if I get it on the knife or the glue, because I'll take this handle back off, and then we're going to clean that knife up and etch it. So, yeah, I'll put a bit of a heavy coat on this time, on both sides, sand that down, polish it, and then we're going to etch.
Hey guys, so I got this nice and clean. So you notice I don't clean and polish the handle, because we're going to have that covered. Nobody's going to see it. Some knife makers do. I don't do it. It's out of sight, out of mind. I use a lot of times acetone to make sure I got all the moisture and oil and everything out of it. But I actually really do like using brake cleaner on it, because it dissipates moisture very well. And then we'll take water and just run a little bit of water on it, and then put it in the etch. And I got this little baby here. So we'll come back in a little while and check this thing out. Okay, I'm gonna pull this out, see how we look on the etch. Not bad at all. So that's what we got, guys. So I got to get some Windex on it and neutralize it so the acid will stop burning in.